Everybody, happy Friday, Alicia. Okay, I'm a minute behind. I know. So what? Oh God, we might take the glasses off. So what I was doing, first of all, YouTube yelled at me and was like, stream in, what is it, landscape? I said, no, stream in portrait. Anyway, I wanted to start this live because it's late. I already washed my face. A little after show sensitive, it's feeling nice and comfortable, but I have nothing on. So while I was here with you and chatting up about skincare, I wanted to do what has been my most recent evening routine. So let's do that. Hi Joshua. Also cheers. It is Friday. So obviously Tuesday Talks, I have the drink. Hi Karen. I have the drink here too. It's Friday night. Come on. Hey Lexi, thank you for being here. All right, so Event Thermal Water. I never gave this enough oomph. I really was the person that was like, oh my God, you're spraying tap water on your face, yada, 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 whatever. And then I feel like there were some chemists and dermatologists that started posting about the research on thermal water, and then specifically on places like New York City where the water is extremely hard. Do I think this is absolutely necessary? No. I'm sensitive, hard water, things like that. I feel like this is a very lovely, cooling, refreshing step in my routine. So you'll see how I use it. So I also have the air blowing, so it might look like things are just throwing at my face. We'll just ignore that. So it just feels right. Also, if it didn't do anything, it just feels really good. I'm also laughing at, I've been rolling around with Forrest, our new rescue, and I can see that the cat hair in my eye, making my eye a lead shot. So what I usually do is I let that sit for a minute. I do that out of the shower. Hi, Allie. This is the Event Thermal Water. Not necessary, but really lovely. Especially if you have sensitive or sensitized skin, just the action of doing what I just did feels amazing. And it's nice too, right? There's no fragrance, there's no extracts, there's no actives, there's no preservatives. It just feels really nice. It also helps neutralize hard water minerals that are in a lot of waters, but a lot of city water, especially a place like New York City. So I let that sit for a second. I do not let it dry. And that is something that I would recommend because it is just water. There's no humectants, there's nothing else going on. Don't let it dry and evaporate and further dehydrate the skin. So mist it. As you saw, I'll do more even because, God, that feels good. Saturate the skin, let it set for a minute, do its thing, neutralize, and then let it be. And you'll see I'm gonna take a paper towel in a second and dab it before I go into my next step. And I know, wait till you see, because I'll give you well, you're seeing it now, so. It's new packaging, it's not gonna look like this, but new packaging for a product that I obviously will talk about. And then something else. Okay, so I'm on my phone, this is only the second YouTube Live we've ever done, but I'm on my phone for this one as opposed to the computer. And I see comments come up as they come in, but I want to press the screen. So if all of a sudden I have cat ears or something, it's because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. If I do that, no, that just says chat viewing options. No, I want to, if I press, if I touch it, oh my God, this is beautiful. Love it. Look at that. I feel like I've gotten to I just wanted to make sure I was seeing everything. Event, yes. Event. But then how do I press the arrow? No, that goes that way. Well, now my whole face is, whatever. Can I hide it? I don't want to hide it. No, oh God. Whatever. Oh, and it just goes to, oh, this is so fancy. Okay, so it's been, now that I've distracted myself, I just take a paper towel and I lightly, so this is obviously my routine as it stands today. Very simple, very simplified. This is Hydrate Facial Serum in new packaging we're working on. It's not going to look, it will look like this. The color, obviously, we're gonna be more white and black. But this is 50% post-consumer recycled plastic, 50% virgin plastic, and no spring. So this entire all of it is 100% recyclable. Obviously easier to ship, lighter to ship, not really gonna break, not really gonna leak. And I actually really like the pump action without the spring. It gives this sort of, it has this firmness that I really enjoy. So just on slightly damp skin, I'm applying Hydrate Facial Serum. And as you see, I'm going up under the eye too. I'm keeping the routine really easy tonight. We're not doing eye, we're not doing any actives tonight. I know some of you know, we have the Mandelic Exfoliating Mask coming out in, 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today. I did that last night. So tonight, simple, I'm actually gonna do a second layer of Hydrate Facial Serum. This is not the best. I wouldn't usually do my skincare routine in front of a blowing air conditioning and having it completely like dry and dehydrate my skin. But that's why we're just gonna go in and do a second layer. Okay, so then the other thing is, this is not for sale. This is just for me at this point in time, but it is a jumbo size of moisture recovery cream, which is something that was like not on my summer skincare list. I was performance cream all the time during the summer, and my skin, from what I just talked about, air conditioning and going outside in extreme heat, even with extreme humidity, but extreme heat and sweating and then sitting and letting the sweat evaporate. I was like, you know what? I feel like I should just step it up a bit, take a little bit of moisture recovery cream, warm it up, and spread it on. And my skin has been so happy. It actually has not felt, some days I feel like, okay, you feel a little bit rich and lubricated with the moisture content going on in the skin, but it actually wears really well, and my skin has felt extremely happy and healthy. It's allowed me to use the Mandelic Exfoliating Mask twice a week just fine, with no side effects whatsoever for me personally. And again, everything face, eye, and neck. It just feels really, really good. I know, wait, I'm sorry, I just saw a question come in about the jumbo cream. I know, this is literally, I wasn't gonna like do a fake version, right? We don't do fake here. We don't, oh God, I swear, I've turned this light down as much as it possibly can, but it's dark out, so we definitely need the light. If I look like that, you don't see the rings. That's annoying, right? I feel like I can see without my glasses. Okay, wait, let me do this. Hold on, we're not hiding things, Okay, wait, sneak peek. Nice, 3 weeks from today, yes. Write the live nighttime routine. I thought it was a nice thing. I was like, oh, actually I can just wash my face right before the live and then I would have cleansed my face with you, but this little setup I have in the small apartment doesn't really, especially with Forrest, who's the potential to like just jump up and do something at any given point. I don't want him to like run into, oh my God, why? There we go. I have yet to like really dial in how I use the comments here. Karen, you're absolutely getting all the tea. Yes, I know Jumbo MRC. I know, excuse me, Jumbo Cream, and I was not informed. The Jumbo was a total accident. So literally all we did was we had found that our packaging supplier had a larger size of the tube we currently use, and I said to our lab, can you please price me out what it would look like in the largest size tube that we can get in the same exact packaging? And they're like, sure. They've done this hundreds of times now. We have pricing up the wazoo of every single size of every single product ever, just to see what makes the most sense, right? Like, I'm pretty sure every single brand has that. Then I randomly get a box on my doorstep of large moisture recovery creams, which I was like, why, thank you. I didn't ask you to make those or fill them, but I will happily take them. So here we are. So instead of using the other sizes, which obviously we sell on myself, I just have been using that. But that's it, that's my routine. That was 3 steps. Granted, this is not an every night thing. Some nights I will pop in a retinol, some nights I will pop in an eye gel, and some nights I will do an exfoliating mask after the cleanser. But for the most part, cleanse, serum, moisturize at night is a very straightforward routine, especially if you can take, and especially as you can with hydrated facial serum and moisture recovery cream up around the eyes as well. Okay, so here's the thing. Oh my God, I don't like how, I feel like, no, the comments, I need them to, I have to slide up. Okay, I'm learning. We slide the finger up. I know exactly, Lexi, comments here are not easy. Oh God, and then it goes, it disappears, which is like a lovely trick, but like I need them to say. I have a box, I wish I had a box of them. I have 6. I have 6, and I think I've gone through 3, and Caroline does have one because she asked for one. And obviously my business partner has. Okay, so wait, I got the questions. I want to make sure. Okay, so now we're going to go into, I really feel like I want my glasses on. I don't love it. Something like that. But maybe if I have some Prosecco, it won't be so bad. So what we're going to talk about now, because this is not on YouTube, and as we know, which I love, is that the lives save on YouTube, but on both TikTok and Instagram, and then I guess by Instagram default Facebook. We've talked about after show versus matinee cleansers and sort of why you would choose either or both, and the performance cream versus moisture recovery cream, and why you would choose one or the other or both, what's in them, what they're going to do, etc. Sound good? I feel like I like it. It's going to be up on every channel. If you're here, you probably have heard it. Maybe you haven't. So let's start with cleansers. In short, the easiest way to look at the cleansing situation: after show cleansers, oil-based first cleanse; matinee cleansers, water-based second cleanse and or morning cleanse. That is straight up the easiest way as you were diving into the brand to look at it. After show, first cleanse, oil-based evening cleanse; matinee, second cleanse, morning cleanse, water-based. And then from there, you can pull them apart. After show original and after show sensitive have the exact same framework with sort of different insides. The after show original having that gorgeous mango citrus aroma plus fruit acids. The sensitive removing the scent and removing the fruit acids and replacing it with calming, soothing botanicals. But doing the same thing: dry hands, dry face, breaking down makeup, SPF, dirt, oil, grime. Most people prefer to remove it with a warm, wet washcloth, etc. Most people prefer it as a first cleanse. Can you use it as a second cleanse? Can you use it as a morning cleanse depending on your skin type and skin condition? Absolutely, which I just have to have that caveat in there because we can do these black and white, very straightforward, like this or that, but there's always going to be a nuance, and it depends, and it really does. So I don't want to do a disservice to somebody who might be like, I actually use after show as my first cleanse, as my second cleanse, and as my morning cleanse, and I love it. Do I need to change? Absolutely not. This is just when you're looking at our line and trying to decide, this is going to be the two sort of dividing points. Then you have our matinee cleansers, water-based, rinsable second cleanses and or morning cleanse in terms of a traditional but comprehensive skincare routine. Matinee gel, normal oily combination, oily sensitive; matinee cream, normal combination dry, dehydrated, sensitive, sensitized. Both rinsable, both water soluble, both water based. Matinee gel is aloe, glycerin, chamomile, cucumber, really gentle surfactants, and salicylic acid. It is a non-foaming gel cleanser. It feels like a really lovely cooling gel. Massage it around your face, rinse it off with water. You don't need a washcloth. Matinee cream, sesame seed oil, rosehip oil, black silt, cucumber extract, green tea extract, chamomile extract, completely rinsable, beautiful cream cleanser. Again, I said who they're each for. Separately, with these, if you're like, hey, I use the matinee cleansers as my first cleanse, my second cleanse, and my morning cleanse, is that okay? Absolutely. Again, it depends. It's going to depend on your skincare routine. For me, if I really, and this is hard because there's two cleansers that end up in my routine a lot now in New York weather, and they are the after show sensitive and the matinee cream cleanser. But for me, Goldilocks, the matinee cream cleanser, has become sort of like, you know what, it's always going to be there in a pinch, whether I'm oily, whether I'm slightly broken out, whether I'm slightly sensitive, whether I'm dry dehydrate it, whether I've worn or reapplied SPF, whether I have a little bit of foundation on, especially if you have a washcloth in the game. Your after shows are going to be much better at breaking down SPF makeup. But if you have an SPF, if you have a washcloth with the matte cream cleansers as a first cleanse, is also going to be great. But matte cream cleanser for me has become first cleanse, second cleanse, morning cleanse. So it's a nice breakdown to say after show, oil-based, first cleanse, makeup removal, SPF removal, matinee, water-based, rinsable, second cleanse, morning cleanse. However, there can be overlap and there can be simplicity in that depending on your skincare routine, or even just depending on what you want. We don't even have to have it be about skin types or skin conditions. You can say like, hey, I want one cleanser, here's where I am. If you're oily, breakout prone combination, matinee gel, first cleanse, remove it with a warm wet washcloth, matinee gel, second cleanse, matinee gel in the morning. It's gonna take care of you. So it just depends a little bit on what you want, but that is the cleansing family of JSS. Okay, before I go on, I know there's questions, or maybe not questions, comments. Okay, wait, comments. Thank you, Alicia, wear your glasses, it's all good, we were just hanging out, having fun, thank you. I know, I feel like I see the reflection. Matinee cream is completely my jam. Thank you, Lexi, I feel the same way. And I know there's like, I used to be all matinee gel all the time. I was younger when I was using it. I was also in a different climate. And matinee gel is my husband's jam, but matinee cream has become my jam. Oh, thank you, Karen, mine too. Allie, I do the same combo. I love it. My eczema and constant red cheeks. Love the after show and the matinee cream cleanser. Beautiful, beautiful double cleanse. Good to know, Allie, I've read cheeks, so glad you mentioned that. Obsessed with matinee cream. If using the after show as a second cleanse, can it be used on a wet face? Excellent question, Francine. Thank you. Excellent question. Absolutely. So that is a great point, because obviously if you're using matinee cream, matinee gel, if you're using them on wet or dry face, it's going to have a very similar look, feel, appearance, and you can easily add water. After show, the first cleanse, you are going to want to do dry hands, dry face to really melt down that makeup, dirt, oil, grime, remove on your warm, wet washcloth. Second cleanse can be one of two things. You can have dried your face like I just did after spraying with water here and going in and doing the cleanse the exact same way. Or what you can do is your hands might be dry and you can put some on and it's going to have the same feel on your hands. And then when you start adding it to a slightly damp face, it becomes a very, very, very light milk cream, but it holds up. Because if you were to take the after show, I want to explain this correctly. If you were to take the after show cleanser and add some water in, it becomes this very lotiony, milky. It's beautiful, but it can get very runny and very milky. And it doesn't have the substance that the cleanser would have otherwise. If you, as your second cleanse, put it in your hands and your hands were dry, but your face was wet, you would get this sort of substantial quality of that jelly texture while having it be this light cream on your face. And all that does is it just lightly dilutes the cleanse. It makes it even gentler on the skin. So it's a great question, and it's absolutely a-okay. And what it's going to come down to is personal preference. So I would say if you're doing that, play around with it. I like doing it that way, where I would do dry hands, dry face. I like rinsing and not using a wet washcloth and having the moisture left behind. My skin needs that. I get surface dry very easily. And then I would have my hands dry, my face slightly damp, dry, slightly damp. It turns into a really light, sort of milky cream. Sort of sometimes when you rub creams or serums in and the skin is slightly damp and you get that almost emulsifying effect. You're going to have that with the cleanser, which is perfectly fine. It's great, actually. And then rinse again, and skin is left pristine and hydrated and glowing and beautiful and lovely. So that is an excellent question, and thank you, because I forgot to mention that. Nikki, my marriage also includes one matinee gel person and one matinee cream person. Makes packing toiletries for travel a little more complicated, but at least he's not stealing my cleanser anymore. The milky thing that the after-show cleansers do is a brilliant thing. Thank you, Langston. I am laughing because when we went to Italy in February for the first 5-week round, I really wanted to pack light, and we were struggling, compromising on the cleansing situation because I felt like I needed one after show in there. And then on the matinee gel, matinee cream, we felt a little bit like, what are you getting? What do you want? There was no compromise. We just had matinee gels for Ben, matinee cream for me, and an after show just in case. We do great on that. Anyway, exactly, Karen. What's left on the skin isn't heavy. It's just lovely. It's like juicy moisture. Yes, I totally agree. Oh wait, more questions. Also adding hydrated serum to aftershow sensitive and making a mask out of it, freaking brilliant. It's so good. That mask has saved me so many times. Actually, that mask saved my ass big time on the eve of the Cult Beauty launch. I had tried a product because this is super smart to do when you're launching in the UK and Europe for the first time as a small brand. Try a exfoliating product when you're already sensitive and you know what's going to happen. And I did that, and my skin went to like the day we were leaving, or maybe the day we got there, and after show sensitive and hydrated facial serum every single night in London leading up to the launch, which was only like 2 days once we got there, was savior, big time. Non-abrasive, yes, okay, perfect. So let's go into now performance cream and moisture recovery cream, which we covered today on TikTok and Instagram, and I think it might be up on Facebook. As I sip my champagne. So, performance cream, moisture recovery cream, 2 moisturizers. You're going to use them as moisturizers for the most part. There's always a caveat. Performance cream, our lightest moisturizer, squalane, glycerin, peptides, and antioxidants. This is going to be oily combination, oily sensitive. So basically, if you're a matinee gel user, you might love the performance cream. I feel like that's a really great way to put it. It's a satin finish. It's not going to mattify the skin. It's not going to give the skin an intense glow. It just is this really balanced, healthy your skin, but better feel and look. A little goes a long way. Great thing about it, because it is so light and it is a serum disguised as a moisturizer, really, it can be a serum step if you were somebody that is dry or dehydrated. That is the performance cream. So we got squalane, glycerin, large molecular weight sodium hyaluronate, 3 different peptides, green tea water, if I didn't say that, jojoba esters, chamomile extract, olive leaf extract, fragrance-free, a little goes a long way, a dream moisturizer for oily, breakout prone, combination oily sensitive skin, and or a moisturizing serum step for a very dry, dehydrated skin. Then you have our newest product and our newest moisturizer and our richest moisturizer, moisture recovery cream, which is your ceramide buttery cream. So we sort of have peptides, satin with the performance cream, and we have buttery ceramides with moisture recovery cream. Moisture recovery cream, glycerin, squalane, shea butter, triglycerides, fatty acids, ceramide NG. It is, as Nikki has said, a cashmere sweater. It's what I have on right now. It is super comforting for the skin. It's not a wet, high glow, high volume in terms of like the sheen it gives. It is that buttery finish. So luxe, moisturizing, nourishing, but not highly sheen, glossy. It wears really well under makeup. It is great for reducing transepidermal water loss. It is great for helping the barrier recover after you've maybe over exfoliated, after you've maybe overdone your vitamin A's, your vitamin C's. I feel like we should just do an alphabet, right? I feel like we're just getting to the point where we're doing alphabets. Your vitamin B and C and D and E. I feel like overdid vitamin E though, you would have a whole different problem than like overdoing vitamin A or vitamin C. Anyway, I digress. This is for dry, sensitive, dehydrated, irritated. This is your 365 24/7 moisturizer. If you're somewhere in between the two, you can pick and choose. You can have performance cream be day cream, you can have moisture recovery cream be night cream, or you could have performance cream be spring and summer, you can have moisture recovery cream be fall and winter. I sort of fall into the category of, usually when my skin changes, it changes. Like I don't really have a day-night situation. I just have, performance cream is usually spring, summer. Moisture recovery is usually fall, winter. As I talked about, I've started using it again, but I've not used it since. There was a point in time I had to use it in Boise, Idaho because it was 652 degrees and 0% humidity. And I didn't know what that meant, like for the skin. I know. I sound like a novice, and I was with the Boise weather. It was only the second time I'd been there. Anyway, but for the most part, performance cream, antioxidants and peptides, and the performance products in general, whether it's performance eye gel or performance cream, the performance part for me are my favorite actives that aren't your vitamin C's, aren't your retinols, aren't your acids, aren't the things that, while great and I love, aren't necessarily sort of like everybody's cup of tea. So performance for me is antioxidants and peptides. That's where you got the green tea, you have the chamomile, you have the olive leaf extract, you have the blend of 3 peptides, you have the squalane, and performance eye gel, you have the caffeine, you have the green tea, you have the chamomile, you have the peptides, you have the algae, you got it. Right? So that's performance. But performance cream, satin finish, oily, breakout prone combination, peptides, antioxidants, moisture recovery cream, buttery finish, ceramide, barrier repair, moisturizing, nourishing, richer, dry, dehydrated, sensitive, sensitized, and or somebody that's messed up their barrier, you're gonna spot treat and do those little mini ecosystems that we talk about a lot, where you might be oily in the T-zone and might not have any issues there, so leave it off of there, and then apply it like on your cheeks or your neck or your décolleté or wherever. So that is the difference between performance cream and moisture recovery cream. And I want to talk about one other thing, which is just something that I feel like I see happen constantly. We've talked about it briefly before, a little bit, I think, with Charlotte Palomino on Instagram. And I want to talk about it again. And it's a touchy subject, but I feel like I have good insight to talk about the, I swear to God, with the neighbors with the slamming of the door. I swear. Okay, wait. Hydro serum, the mask is invaluable after a flight, crucial for my post-flight hydrating routine. Absolutely, Nikki. It's giving Nick Cage reciting the alphabet in Vampire's Kiss. I mean, I feel like that sometimes when we start talking about the vitamins, and not just me, like other people, I'm like, yeah, the vitamin A and niacinamide's vitamin B, panthenol's vitamin B, then you have vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin F and vitamin K now. Oh my goodness, I never thought about putting different creams on different areas of the face. Great tip. Alicia, it's a great tip. It is, I will be honest, it's really, really effective and one of the best things you can do, and it's really friggin' annoying if you're like me and you saw how I just applied my moisturizer, which was, oh my God, this feels so good. Which it does, and it does, and it does, and you want to massage, right? However, if there are times where this is just extremely oily or maybe congested, but like this is crying out and I want to do moisture recovery here, leave something off, I will do what I just did, but then I will just, I usually put it on the back of my hand and I will dab it and massage it in, and dab it and massage it in. And then either leave this with just a serum or do something like performance cream. So it's a really great tip and it gets really great results, and you're really targeting the areas as mini little ecosystems, but it's annoying if you're like me and you like to do the massage and the whole thing. So that was water. I mean, that's pretty good. So you win some, you lose some, right? You win some, you lose some. Karen, apartment life. I swear, and it's only one neighbor. And we don't mind, they're not loud neighbors, but I don't know if we have to rehearse closing of the door. Opening of the door seems fine, it's closing. Anyway. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about next, which could be a weird, like, touchy subject because I am a brand owner, but it's a question that comes up all the time, and it's a weird question because people who don't have brands sort of like spat something out, which it's fair to do, but it's always based on pricing. And I'm not even going to get into talking about inflation and price increases and what's happening and all of that, but just pricing in general and what that means for different brands. And I get asked that all the time, like, you know, this SPF is $35, this one's 10, they seem like they have the same ingredients, should I just get the cheaper one? Because, like, first of all, as Caroline Hirons always says, if you have to credit card it, don't do it. It is not worth doing, don't do it. There are other options out there. There will always be other options out there. Secondly, so much more goes into it than the price and what you're seeing. So like product and price, right? So you're gonna have things like distribution. For us, a way we can keep our formulas up, but our pricing a little bit tighter than what you might see at a formal retailer or a large retailer, is that we're not doing those retailers. We're not having to pay X, Y, Z, fees, margins, etc. So we're trying to minimize that. Though that was a decision. That was a decision in brand growth and in how we run the brand. So you're going to have that with other brands. 2 is volume, or 3. I guess we're up to 3 now. Learn to count today too. A, B, C's, D's, E's, and F's, and now 1, 2, and 3. 3 is volume. If you are a brand that is distributing to maybe drugstores, et cetera, your volume is going to be like 200,000, 300. I mean, these runs that companies can do 250,000 units at a time. It's extreme. That brings the price down so much. So even if you took the same product, which you would never, I would hope a brand would never take the same product, or they wouldn't. They can't really do that. But something extremely similar and was in a small brand, the price difference right there is going to be completely different. On top of all of that, you then have return policy. Every brand's going to have a different return policy. Every brand's also going to have a different shipping policy. So maybe they offer free shipping on all orders, no matter the volume, no matter the size. Maybe they have free shipping over $100. Maybe they have, so there are so many variables that affect the price of anything, but skincare specifically, that it goes above and beyond. Does this work well for me? Does this not work well for me because it's this price? And I'm here to say that, like, just because it's cheaper doesn't mean it's this weird thing of like, well, A, doesn't mean it's worse at all. So we get that out of your mind. 2, the new thing has become like, oh no, it's cheaper than the drugstore. I was told it's better. It's just other stuff, it's fluff. Also false. And then go the other way. Is it expensive? Because a routine, like a product list could look the same way. And listen, if you have trace amounts of ceramide in your product, or 1% of ceramide in your product, those price points of that product are going to be like this. Like night and friggin' day. Like we're something like night and day. We've done this through playing around with ingredients, and that's also something that matters to me too, is like, how can we have one of the most effective formulas at a price that's not going to break the bank, while still being, let's be honest, still being a business. We still have to be a profitable business. But it's just been this weird talking point, and I think people love to create content now, so it's like, what can we talk about? And so then they start ripping into like price tags and this and that and the other thing. But it goes so beyond, like, that means that's absurd, and that means that's, if you end up paying $20 more for a product, but you get free shipping, a boatload of samples, you can return it at any time within 60 days, they give X% back, maybe you agree with them ethically. I mean, there's like, I'm exaggerating here, of course, but you're usually paying for something, so there's much more that goes into it than just the formula. And I feel like the talking point has become that it's just about the formula, and it really has nothing to do with anything else, which is so far off. And then of course I'm like, who's saying this? Oh, you do not have a brand. Thank you for speaking on this. And as I'm sure there are many women here, it's just like when, you know, men in anywhere like to speak on your behalf. Isn't it nice? If you couldn't get my sarcasm, Okay, what do we got here? I don't think people realize brick and mortar retail is expensive. And that's also very true, exactly. Yes, the brick and mortar retail is expensive. And that's just one sliver of the cost, absolutely. Thank you, Lexi. Thank you, Karen. And Lexi, that was the big thing for me too, was, you know, you can come at it thinking like, oh, we're gonna create this great product and it's gonna be this price, and then to your point, if they give you the price tag when you ask them to price something, they usually don't send you the bottles of it. But, and you're like, oh, that price doesn't work out. So it is going back and forth to, and another company that I know has done this is to do skin in Charlotte, and I think they did it, not in a roundabout way, but in their Deliverance serum, they had cannabis complex. And, you know, we are in the realm of like, nope, if 1% is good, then we should probably put 5% in there. And they actually did clinicals to be like, actually it works at X%. And the percent that it worked at that was the most effective was a little bit lower. You get the point. So there's like, we really want to create content recently, and some of the content we put out, we don't really quite understand what we're saying. Which goes back to my point of like, you know, people speaking for you, and it's like, okay, that's great. Thank you, Allie. And I certainly was not having this conversation to say like, please tell me it's good. But just the like ins and outs of why some people might charge X and why some people might charge Y. Or why there's going to be differences, or why there's going to be like, right? And it also makes me laugh because it's no different than, I shouldn't say it's no different, because again, here I am now I said people don't have a brand they're speaking about. I'm about to speak about like fashion, which I don't have a fashion brand. But getting a pair of jeans at like X store that are $50, or getting a pair of jeans that are, you know, $400 at X store, looking at them, they seem the same. You wouldn't know how they wear until you're actually wearing them. You also wouldn't know if like maybe one comes with complimentary tailoring, if one, this is really stupid, but like I just looked at my glass of Prosecco. I can't afford to go to those shops and have the like Prosecco pour and sit down. Some of my friends can, and I go with them, and I say, give me the Prosecco while my friend shops. But there's other things that go into the cost of the product. And it doesn't mean you need X, and it doesn't mean you need Y. It just is sort of what you want, what you feel is good, what represents you, what you're attracted to in terms of formula or cut or pricing or brand or ethos or what they stand for as individuals, as a small company. I'm a big fan of, I like heritage behind a brand. And you can have a big brand and still have a person behind it. So anyway, again, I digress. But that was something I was like, you know what, I want to talk about that, because that's the larger discussion of that is the content thing, where I don't even think it's, it is marketing, but people have been so hungry to like, we have to create content, we have to do X, we have to put something out there. So there are these talking points that have become a thing that have confused consumers, and they're so confused about skincare. They're like, I'm supposed to do X, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that, I'm supposed to do this. And it's all because people are just trying to create this excess of content, which I understand, but like, it would just be nice if it was just sort of like factual, or I guess it doesn't have to be in an instance like this factual, but nuanced. There's more to it than just, this one's cheap and this one's expensive. Like, okay, yeah, on paper, but then like, what else is going into it? Anyway, I'm done. I'm off the soapbox. And exactly, Lexi, excellent point. I don't care how good the formula is. If the price tag is $150 a pop, I'm not going to be able to put it on my face regularly. Exactly, and that is the thing. If you maybe have one product and it's more of like an indulgent, not like a results-driven product that you need to use consistently, but maybe if it's like a little indulgent product that you can use now and again, that you save up for, fine. If a lot of your everyday routine is becoming like, oh, I have to save that for special occasion, that's something you don't want with your skincare routine. That doesn't matter, even if it's our product. Go somewhere else. I don't want to tell you to go somewhere else, but if you were getting our product and saving it for a special occasion, I would prefer you to find something that you can afford. I'm an esthetician first. Before I was a brand owner, I was an esthetician. I'm an esthetician first. I'm looking out for your skin. Get that skin in check, and so that's going to be with consistency and a regular routine. So if that means going somewhere else, I hope you don't have to, but if you do, there's many great things out there. We're happy to recommend things. There's also, Caroline's app, Skin Rocks app is unbelievable for that. But Lexi, that's an excellent point. If you know it's something that you can't do regularly, and separately, if you're doing it just as a treat, just to see, just your curiosity got the best of you and you want to try something, if you get it, use it. Use it. If it's $150 and it's 1 ounces and you're going to use it up in 4 weeks by using it every day, use it up in 4 weeks by using it every day, because that's also the way you're going to get your skin to be the best. If you're using it once a week for 6 months, that's not going to do anything. So also, if you're going to spend the money on it, use it to the way it should be used. You know? Oh, Lexi, I know what you meant. Exactly, more isn't better, it's just more. 10% concentration is necessary or advised when the research is exactly 2 to 5%, like Nikki, exactly. Exactly, Lexi. Karen, it is so overloaded, I agree. It's a good soapbox because there is a fair amount of peer pressure and or guilt. Yes, exactly, exactly. And here, that's why, like, I really, like, when I know that we have videos out there, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, of sort of like building. That's why I really like people to build a basic routine from the ground up, and that's how we create our products too, and then you accessorize from there based on your concerns. So like, you're not gonna look, while you wanna target X, Y, and Z for your skin, in my head, you're not gonna go purchasing a serum first if you don't have a cleanser or you don't have an SPF, right? Like, especially if that serum happens to have alpha hydroxy acid, retinol, high percentage vitamin C, you're gonna wanna get that cleanser and that SPF dialed in, and maybe a separate moisturizer dialed in as well. Have those three, get them. Then, what's your serum? Do you need extra hydration? Do you need extra antioxidants? Do you need a retinol? Do you need an acid? Are you trying to treat pigmentation? Are you trying to treat, uneven skin tone? Are you trying to treat redness? Are you trying to do dehydration? And then go from there. But build from the ground up instead of throwing a bunch of darts at a dartboard and seeing what sticks. And then I promise you, that way it's a very solid, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, and it takes a lot of the, for lack of a better word, neuroses out of it, as somebody who is neurotic. Karen, exactly, especially if you're a certain age, you need this, you need that. Stop. That's why the ground up, it's such a better. Thank you, Lexi. But yeah, the you need this, you need that. So to that point, if somebody were to say that and those things did not include a cleanser and an SPF as the first things, run. I really feel like I would say run, because then you were doing your skin a disservice. So you start using an alpha hydroxy acid serum. I'm just saying, maybe it's not that, maybe it's retinol, maybe whatever, still, same, anything. Everywhere, like such as. But you don't have your SPF dialed in, you don't have an SPF you like, etc. You're certainly going 2 steps forward, 5 steps back at that point. So get those basics dialed in. That's what you need. No, you don't need the $150 XXX. You need the good cleanser, you need the good SPF, and then we build from there. And I start there, like good cleanser, good SPF, and then probably good moisturizer. And then we start looking at, okay, where's our specialty, right? Like, do we want to focus on eyes? Do we want to focus on face? Do we want to focus on neck? And I'm saying that not in that you need a separate neck product or décolleté product, but say that you've noticed maybe some, they call them the tech lines, or some lines of wrinkles, or some pigmentation, or something on the neck and décolleté that you want to address. Just getting a retinol product for the neck isn't necessarily going to work, because this area can get extremely sensitive, and a lot of people cannot use the retinol they use on their face, on their neck and décolleté. So again, it's going to be something where it's still going to be extremely targeted. It doesn't need to be a neck cream retinol. It just is going to need to be a gentler strength retinol, or maybe an alpha hydroxy acid, or maybe vitamin C, or maybe you're super sensitive and it's peptides. But it's not all of them, it's one of them. But it's getting that really great base, which is why we call it our cortical routines. It's the body, the base of our routines, and then you accessorize, and the accessorize are sort of the specialty products and what you're looking for. Eyes, neck, face, tone, texture, pigmentation, dehydration, redness in certain skin tones, fine lines and wrinkles, etc. Ali, oh, yes, this will go up right afterwards. Have a lovely night. And yes, anyway, I'm about to go. Look, we've done 45 minutes. I was like, oh, it's a YouTube on Friday night. I love that there was like 17 to like 20 of us here. That was awesome. I enjoyed the YouTube lives. I feel like it's like our little secret community over here. Don't tell anybody. But thank you all for coming. So this is going to be saved as always. I believe it goes up right away. I say right away, it might be in like 2 minutes, but it's much better than when I usually upload YouTube videos, which takes like 30 minutes. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely Friday night. I hope you have a lovely, moderately temperatured weekend that is not too humid and not too dry and not too hot. But thank you all so much for watching. We have a few good videos coming up on YouTube, pre-recorded videos. We have one on exfoliation coming up in about a week or more. And then of course we've one about the new launch. And then we've one about another seasonal change skincare thing going on in October. And then I'll be doing lives. And I love that this is set up. I know that we're doing the portrait, not the landscape. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, thank you, Karen. Thank you, Lexi. But thank you all so much for joining. I will say this right now. Thank you, Alicia. And until next time, bye.